our chats. Welcome. We are hot summer day in August, 96 degrees outside, and we are just finished our alignable event for the month of August. And man, those events are just so rewarding, and the connections that are made there are just genuine. I mean, genuine connections. And I was speaking with someone after the event, and I had told her, I pray over the event and the people that come into the room, and that their lives be touched the way that God intends for them to be touched while they're in that room. And she said, I felt something while I was here earlier, and that's it. That's it. And she said, I couldn't really tell what it was. I was kind of nervous coming here. I didn't know what to expect. I was nervous meeting you. And that sounds so silly to me, but I remember being the person that was nervous to walk into the room. Nervous to meet the speaker, the host. And I still am when I go other places and walk into other rooms. I'm still nervous because I'm now walking into rooms that I feel like I have not had the opportunity to belong in until now. And that's where it's wrong. That's exactly where it's wrong. You have the opportunity to be in the room that you want to be in. And for years, I've been told I was not allowed in a room because my company didn't make enough revenue. There was a magic number that they had that my revenue goal had to surpass that to be in the level of the room, and I don't agree with that. I'm going to tell you why I don't agree with that. But first, I want to remind you that you can be in any room that you want to be in. And when someone puts a ceiling on top of you and says, this is where you stop, you can't be in the room, they're wrong. They are very wrong. The room that I was not allowed to be in, you had to have a certain revenue number to hit the next level. I was paying a monthly membership to be involved for coaching, and was told I but I had to have the revenue to be in the next room. I know what my company is capable of. I know what my personal goals are, and I know that I'm not chasing money. It no longer aligned with where I wanted my company to go. Would I love for my company to reach millions? No, I wouldn't. I absolutely don't. That is not in my deck of cards. It is not what God has put on my heart. That's not the room that I want to be in if I can't hit the monetary value to be in that room. So when I started my consultancy, the company that I went to work for, I asked the question, do you have revenue caps on the rooms? And when I asked the question, I almost got giggled at, and I said, I'm sorry, that this is a very serious question for me, because I want to make sure that coaching clients that are coming in are not separated by a room boundary that has a financial number on them that's limiting them to get into that room, because that might not be their goal. And then I was asked to explain myself a little bit more in detail. And this is there's several programs that I wanted to be involved in, and if your revenue run rate is not X, this room is not for you. And most people, now let's be honest, most people are like, okay, well, I'm going to get that extra $500,000 to get in that room because that's what it's going to take. And that might take them a couple of years. And I understand why there are limits to putting someone that's just starting out in a room that needs to have more, I'm going to say, minding happening in that room. I understand. I get it. But for someone that's been in business and been involved in a program for so many years, and you are the smallest person, and not the smallest, when I say that, I'm using that loosely, but you're the smallest person sitting in the room and you're feeding everybody around you, it's time to move to the next room. It's time to move. And so whenever I explained the situation to the person that I was doing the interview with for their consultancy agency, and she said, no, we don't do that here. Everybody has an equal opportunity because everybody's goals are different. And everybody wants to hit a different room. And we want people to experience different rooms. And it's their decision, do they belong there or not? Because some of those rooms can be overwhelming for some people and they need to step back. And some of those rooms are going to feed people on the level that they need to be fed on. And I just kind of felt like, you're right. And that's why I want to be with that company. So I want to just say, when someone was nervous to meet me today at my event, it kind of caught me off guard. And it's someone that I've been peeking on their Facebook page and kind of watching what she's doing. I'm very attracted to the content that she posts. She's a good Christian woman, and that just draws me in, knowing where her heart is, because we're very much alike. I could just feel it. And I couldn't help but kind of giggle, and she felt like she didn't belong in the room. I made her nervous to come into the room. Well, shame on me, because my goal is not to make anyone feel nervous or put out by coming into the room. We're coming into the room to gather. We're coming into the room to gain knowledge and move forward and grow ourselves as individuals and leaders. And if we're able to make a godly connection while we're there, well, heck, that's just one more plus. Add it to the list. Sign me up. But I also want to stop and mention, if you ever feel like somebody has a ceiling on you, I want you to ask yourself, what's the reality of you hitting the number that they have put for you to enter the room? What's it actually going to take for you? Is it going to be drive? And if it's not going to be what's in your deck of cards, you don't have to do it. You can find another business mentor that will help you and will guide you and will work with you to get you to your goals. Do not let somebody else set your goals for you. Don't do it. If they tell you you just need another $500,000 to get in this room, how long is it going to take you to hit that $500,000? What does that look like? And if they don't stop and help you and create an actionable plan with you, with structure, stop and question yourself. What are you doing? What are you doing? I'm going to tell on myself here, but just a few years, not years, let's see, 8 months ago. Oh yeah, in January, it's August. In January, 8 months ago. So I was working with a business coach, and I'm pleading, please tell me what's wrong with my business. Please tell me what's wrong with my business. And that coach looked everything over, and they said, well, the only thing that I see that you can change is payroll. We need to change how much you're paying your people. And I'm like, okay, fine, let's do it. If that will get me to the next level, let's do it. Profit's going to go down. That's okay. This is what they're saying to do. But they didn't tell me how to do it. Now, I'm a pretty smart cookie, and I'm able to figure some stuff out, right? So I brought it back to the next coaching session, and I'm like, hey, this is what I came up with. And then we worked on it together. This is how you should do it. And I'm like, okay, great, looks good. What we didn't do, and this is where I would change things, what we didn't do is stop and look at it from start to finish. If we change the pay rates, and if business keeps going the way that it's going, and if we have to increase our marketing budget because the numbers are going to increase, what is all of that going to look like? It's important to know that. It's absolutely important to know what is it going to look like. The next business coach that I worked with, because I went through several, trying to help find, poke the holes in my business and tell me where the problems are so I can fix those problems. I'm a go-getter. You tell me there's a problem, I'm going to find a solution. The next one looks at it and says, oh my gosh, everything looks really good. I really don't see where there's a problem. I don't understand why you're not growing any more than you are. I said, okay. to another coach. Well, maybe you need to shut down this portion of your business because it's not very fruitful. Okay, I hear you, but I'm not ready to do that just yet. But let's run the numbers. If I shut it down, what would that look like? Kept it open, what's the possibility? Right? Thank you so much for the call. Let's go back to May, June, somewhere in there. Let's talk about that. I called another coaching company and I said the same thing I had said to these other coaches. And I said, I'm really just kind of feeling stuck. I've kind of got something that just doesn't feel right for me. Can't put my finger on it. I'd like some help, just some input, because you look at my business, and that was a complimentary coaching session that was supposed to be a 15-minute call. 90 minutes later, we got off of a Zoom call. At that point in time, I had one problem that she was able to identify with hiring now, and helped me gain some structure, gave me a resource, put me on the right direction. That complimentary 15-minute session turned into a 90-minute session. She would not take payment for it, but told me, I don't think you're a good fit for our program because you're already past what we're teaching. That's integrity. I have so much respect for that person for telling me that and actually helping me find a problem in my business. And I agree, it was a problem. After I looked at it, I said, you know what, this hiring, it is flawed. Our hiring system is flawed. We've got to fix it. This person followed up with me 2 days later and asked if I had any questions and did I actually implement any changes. And I was like, yeah, actually I'm going to go get her. Those changes are implemented. Here's the playbook that we have to accompany it. Here's the Loom videos. Let me know if you see any other holes. Responded back with one more thing for me to change, and it should be good to go from there. It was a true system that I could delegate and hand off to my hiring coordinator. And it has worked flawlessly since. Hiring has been a total game changer for us. So thank you so much. Started watching the numbers move and shift and change because now we were hiring better quality candidates, which is where the problem was, is that the candidates weren't qualified enough that we were bringing in. We thought our hiring process was good, and it was bad. It was bad. It had a whole lot of holes in it, to be honest with you. I didn't know better. I had not learned better at that time. I say all of that because I want you to understand that my business is not perfect and was not perfect and will not be perfect. But I also need you to know that when you allow someone to tell you, I don't know what's wrong, they're not able or willing to dig into it, there might be a limitation on their part for not being able to dig further. That's not okay. It's not okay. And I'm going to just be real with you for a second. That coaching opportunity that I was offered, after I thought about it, gave them a date that I would start with their company, had all the logistics worked out, pay rate looked fantastic. I mean, life-changing fantastic. My qualifications were there. My insurance was in place. My company was in place. Enrolled in the certificate program. Everything was there. All they had to do was add me to their books. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Something held me back. Something pushed me back from it. I jumped in and listened to one of their coaching calls and how they coached. I couldn't do it. It's not for me. It's not for me. My do better, learn better, know better. Because it doesn't happen with somebody just preaching to you. It doesn't. I look back, it's been over a month since I declined the job opportunity. No, it hasn't. It's been 2 weeks. My start date was supposed to be August 1st. So 11 days ago, I was supposed to start with them. So yeah, okay. And I interviewed with them in early July. I realized that if I would have went with that company, it would have put yet another ceiling on me of what I could and couldn't do. What I could and could not do for my clients. And I thought about those people that I loved, absolutely loved, that had coached me before, that may have had a similar ceiling on them. And I didn't like that. It's not what I wanted. I want to be able to consult with other small business owners. I want to be able to help move them to the next level. I want to help them actively dive in and do the work. Actually do the work. Let me show you how. Let me teach you how. So if you ever feel like you need to be in a room and you're told you can't be in the room, I have a room for you. I have a room that you can come into through Zoom. It's currently held on Mondays at 9 a.m. Central. And that room is where small business owners and leaders gather together to collaborate on purpose with purpose. I don't care how much you do or do not make. I don't care what your run rate is. There are people from all different sizes of companies in there. And when we come together and we talk about business, it's so rewarding to see the different level and different industries where the knowledge is the same. The knowledge is the same. So don't let somebody put a cap on your business for you. If that's not your goal, I do not want to be millions of dollars. It's not my goal. It's not what God lined out for me, honestly. God gave me this business, my cleaning business, and my consultancy, and God's the one that deserves all the credit, not me. If He wants it to hit millions, He'll let it hit millions. That's not our focus. Our focus is on helping others and serving others, and that is where I am rooted at, and that is what I will do, and that's what I intend to do. It doesn't mean you don't put yourself in the rooms. You might not belong in their group or their room, but you absolutely belong in a room. Absolutely. So thanks for joining me on a car chat. I commute back and forth, a 4-hour round trip drive once a week at minimum. Gives me a lot of time to think and clear my head. I call it my quiet thinking time. No podcast, no radio. Just me and my thoughts. This is where I get a whole lot of my thinking work done. I call it my mobile office. If you feel like you want to ever collaborate on purpose with some purpose, I'm happy to do a complimentary consult call with you. And just see, are we a good fit for one another? Do we just need to get you on the right track, get you in a room where you matter? I was given a very special gift today, and I just want to read the card to you because it's so touching. And this is from someone that's in that group. Sweet little card. And I open it, it's a little card, and I open it and it says, Tiffany, thank you. That's it. Thank you. That's all I need. That is all I need to solidify my decision that God has me right where He wants me, on the right path. This little card means more to me, so much more to me, than someone telling me I didn't belong in a room. I have heard over and over again, your numbers don't match, gotta have this to be in this program, there's another program I really wanted to be in. Gotta have this to be in the program.